This is my Week 4 presentation on my Capstone research plan. I'm late submitting this assignment because I spent much of this weekend thinking of a new approach to my project. In the end, I don't think that I was as far off base as I thought I was, and with a little tweaking, I think my research is on its way. I'm going to start with an honest assessment of the last few weeks, and I think the picture of this cat says it all. I have been incredibly stressed at work, traveling unexpectedly, and balancing 2 classes this semester. Not to mention that the countdown has begun for our symphony tour to Asia, so I'm in the final throes of contract negotiations, which have to take place at 11 o'clock at night because of the time difference. To say that I've been a little doom and gloom lately is an understatement. In my other class I'm taking right now, we are studying about emotional intelligence and how our state of mind can affect our productivity and outlook at work. This is having an effect on my capstone as well. When you're stressed and frustrated, everything can seem as if it's completely wrong, which is where I was with my capstone last week. But this week, I started fresh, hence the bright colors in my presentation. And after much consideration about my project, I've decided that I'm better off than I thought that I was, and I'm ready to move forward with a research plan. Despite my overall dislike of the action research dissertation text, sorry Josh, I found this chapter to be very helpful this week. The chapter opened with a discussion of how confusing this type of research can be. After the past week I've had worrying over my project, this was refreshing and affirming to hear. The text went on to say that it was confusing because it could be done in so many different ways. Again, very confirming and encouraging to me. If there are a number of ways to do the research, then surely I can't be that far off the path. And finally, it said that having an outsider perspective could actually be helpful. Ding, ding, ding. That's it for me. The perspective was one of my most recent stumbling blocks. If I was doing my project from the wrong perspective, then surely I was doing the whole thing wrong. But the text said that coming from a project as an outsider oftentimes gives a fresh viewpoint of an institution that can be more helpful in some instances than an insider perspective. This means that not only do I not have to change my topic, but I can even keep my perspective as an outsider. Fantastic. This new sunny attitude that I have does not take away from the several real issues that I'm having with my research. First, my research has not been specific enough. As I said last week, I need to focus more on the internship program construction instead of the internship experience in general. Next, my research needs to start to support my own ideas instead of being a vague research topic. I need to research my own ideas and not simply look around for what has already been done. And finally, I'm sorry, I didn't realize those bullets were disappearing. I don't know how to fix that, so I'm just going to keep going. Sorry. Finally, I was researching through too many mediums. I was blogging and reading books and looking online and talking to people. While all of these are very helpful, it can also cause a complicated research pattern. Each of these avenues is useful, but only when they're used more systematically than I have been using them. So now I'm changing gears a bit, and mostly with regards to my method of research. JFK said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." This is the new approach I need to follow, although slightly modified. I need to not ask what information can people give me, but instead ask what I can give to Quinnipiac. What can I do for them through my research? First, I need to meet personally with Quinnipiac's internship leaders. Everything that we have studied about change in organizations says that in order to make change, you must understand the culture of the organization. So before I start these wild goose chases on blogs and chat room discussion boards, I need to find out about the organization that I want to create the change in. And the best way, I believe, to do this is in person. Like the internship experience itself, unless I get in there and get my hands on the research and meet these people face to face, I'm not going to get the full experience. Secondly, I need to coordinate my own ideas of a new internship program based on what Quinnipiac tells me. I have lots of ideas on how technology can be used to enhance the internship experience. This is my chance to write it all out and to really formulate my thesis in a proposal. And finally, I need to meet with Quinnipiac, again, to see how they think my plan correlates with their organization. This brings us to the nitty-gritty, my research plan. These are the actual steps and methods that I plan to work with in my project. In step 1, I will be gathering more hands-on research information. I imagine this to be more qualitative than quantitative simply because of the type of information I'm gathering. I plan to have discussions with as many of the Quinnipiac internship programs as I can, thanks to my nifty list of contacts that Jen and Allison gave me. I also think I should have a conversation with Quinnipiac's IT department about what kinds of technology they are already using on campus that might be similar to some of the ideas that I'm thinking about proposing. No sense in reinventing the wheel if it already exists on campus somewhere. And next, I think I'd like to survey interning Quinnipiac students about what kinds of technology and communication methods they are using on a daily basis. When I form my own plan for a new internship program, I want to be sure that I'm building it around programs that students are already familiar with and actively utilizing. Once I have completed this initial research, I can begin step 2. This is to take what I have already discovered about internships and methods of technology and combine them with what I have learned through Quinnipiac leadership, IT departments, and interning students, and develop my own plan of the ideal internship program. I imagine writing this up as a proposal, similar to what Jen was talking about when she discussed a communication plan. I would like to ideally create a manual of sorts that outlines several different methods of technology that can be used to enhance the internship experience, complete with steps for implementing them. Once I have created my proposal, I'd like to take it back to the Quinnipiac leadership and that I have previously worked with to get their feedback. Does it meet the needs they feel their program has? Does it offer alternative solutions to problems they are facing? And more importantly, does it bring something new and beneficial to their program? My final step will be to make revisions to my plan that incorporate any feedback I might receive in this third phase that can further tailor my proposal to Quinnipiac. All of this sounds so clean and smooth. Make a couple phone calls, meet a few people, ask some questions, visit a few websites, and bam, I've got my project. How could it go wrong? But as we all know, there are always bumps along the way. One of my largest hurdles is going to be to stay optimistic about my project and to remember that Rome wasn't built in a day. These projects take time and patience, and even when I hit a roadblock, there will be information there for me to learn from. I need to remember to take away that information from every setback and to keep moving forward. If I can do that, then I should be okay.